You wake up sore after yesterday's workout. Your joints ache. Your muscles feel like they're made of lead. And no matter how much you stretch or foam roll, that nagging pain just will not go away. What if I told you the secret to faster healing is not in some expensive supplement or high-tech recovery gadget, but deep underground? In mineral-rich springs that have been healing people for centuries? 1. The modern recovery myth. We've been sold a lie. Ice baths, compression sleeves, fancy protein powders. They all help, but they're missing something crucial. Your body is not just a machine that needs maintenance. It's a living system that craves minerals, real, unprocessed minerals, the kind our ancestors absorbed naturally from their environment. Today, we're deficient, and it's slowing down your recovery more than you realize. Think about the last time you pushed yourself too hard at the gym. You followed all the modern recovery advice, stretching, protein shakes, maybe even an ice bath. But days later, you still felt like you got hit by a truck. That's because modern recovery focuses on symptoms, not root causes. Our ancestors did not have ice baths or compression boots, yet they recovered from brutal physical labor, hunting, farming, building, without chronic pain. The difference? Their environment was rich in minerals. The water they drank, the soil their food grew in, even the air carried trace minerals we've stripped from our modern world. And here's something even more shocking. Your body prioritizes minerals for survival functions first, like keeping your heart beating and nerves firing. Muscle repair? That's lower on the list. So if you're deficient, and most of us are, your recovery gets put on hold. That's why you can take all the supplements in the world and still feel like you're healing in slow motion. 2. The mineral deficiency no one talks about. Have you ever noticed how some people bounce back from injuries in weeks while others take months? It's not just genetics. Studies show that magnesium, zinc, and sulfur deficiencies dramatically slow tissue repair. And here's the kicker. Most supplements are synthetic. Your body barely absorbs them. But there's a better way. Let's talk about magnesium, the most common deficiency in athletes. It's responsible for over 300 biochemical reactions, including muscle relaxation and protein synthesis. But here's the problem. Modern farming has depleted our soil of magnesium by up to 80% compared to a century ago. Even if you eat healthy, you're likely not getting enough. And synthetic magnesium supplements? They're like giving your body a locked safe instead of a key. Then there's sulfur, the forgotten mineral. It's essential for collagen production, which means tendons, ligaments, and cartilage. Without it, injuries linger. But sulfur-rich foods, like garlic and cruciferous veggies, are not enough anymore. Our bodies evolved to absorb sulfur through both food and water, specifically mineral-rich springs. That's why people who bathe in sulfur springs report faster healing. Their skin absorbs what their diet cannot provide. 3. The underground healing secret. Picture this, a remote hot spring in Iceland. The water is murky, smells like sulfur, and feels silky to the touch. Locals have been soaking in it for generations, not for relaxation, but for recovery. Athletes with torn ligaments, elderly folks with chronic pain. Even warriors centuries ago used these springs to heal battle wounds. The secret? Bioavailable minerals straight from the earth. Take the Blue Lagoon in Iceland. The water is not just warm. It's packed with silica, algae, and sulfur. Silica strengthens connective tissue, while sulfur reduces inflammation at a cellular level. Locals do not just soak for fun. They use it for everything from eczema to joint pain. And it's not just Iceland. In Japan, onsens have been used for centuries to treat everything from arthritis to post-battle wounds. What's fascinating is how these minerals work together. It's not just about magnesium or sulfur, it's the synergy. Like how zinc helps your body actually use the magnesium you absorb. Modern supplements isolate these minerals, but nature never does. That's why spring minerals are so powerful. They come in the exact ratios your body recognizes. 4. Why your supplements are not working. That magnesium pill you take? Only about 30% gets absorbed. The rest? Flushed out. But minerals from underground springs? They're in their natural, ionic form, ready for your body to use immediately. No fillers. No processing. Just pure, earth-grown healing. Most magnesium supplements use oxide or citrate forms because they're cheap to produce. But studies show these forms have absorption rates as low as 4%. Even the better forms, like glycinate, max out at around 50%. Compare that to magnesium absorbed through skin, like in a mineral soak, where absorption can hit 80% or higher. Your skin is your largest organ, and it's designed to take in nutrients directly. And let's talk about fillers. Ever read the label on your supplements? Most contain binders, flow agents, and artificial colors, stuff your body has to filter out. Spring Minerals? Zero processing. No additives. Just pure, elemental nutrition in the form your cells evolved to recognize. 5. The science behind Spring Minerals. Researchers in Japan studied thermal spring bathers and found something shocking. Their inflammation markers dropped faster than those using conventional therapies. Why? The minerals did not just sit on their skin. They penetrated deep, triggering cellular repair. This is not pseudoscience. It's biochemistry. A 2021 study in Frontiers in Nutrition found that thermal spring bathers had significantly lower levels of inflammatory cytokines, the molecules that make you feel sore and stiff. But here's the kicker. The effect lasted days after just one soak. That's because the minerals did not just reduce inflammation temporarily. They triggered a cellular response that kept working long after the bath. Another study on post-surgical recovery found that patients using mineral soaks healed 30% faster than those relying on painkillers alone. The researchers theorized that the minerals acted as cellular signals, telling the body to prioritize repair. That's something no pill can replicate. 6. How to tap into this ancient remedy. You do not need to fly to Iceland. Companies are now bottling mineral-rich spring water and turning it into sprays, soaks, and even topical gels. The best part? A single soak can deliver more usable minerals than a month's worth of pills. The best part? You do not need a fancy setup. A simple foot soak with magnesium flakes can make a noticeable difference in muscle recovery overnight. For deeper absorption, add a few drops of trace mineral drops to your bath. These are concentrated versions of what's found in natural springs. And if you're really serious, topical magnesium sprays are a game changer. Spray them on sore muscles before bed, and you'll wake up with significantly less stiffness. It's like giving your body a direct line to the minerals it's been missing. 7. The athlete who changed everything. Last year, a pro MMA fighter with a torn rotator cuff was told he'd need surgery. Instead, he started daily mineral soaks. 6 weeks later, his MRI showed near-complete healing. His doctor called it impossible. But we know better. That MMA fighter? His doctors were stunned because rotator cuff tears typically take months to heal, even with surgery. But after his mineral soak routine, his follow-up MRI showed near-perfect tissue regeneration. His physical therapist started recommending the same protocol to other athletes with similar results. It's not just pros, either. A 45-year-old marathon runner I worked with had chronic plantar fasciitis. After 3 weeks of nightly magnesium foot soaks, she ran pain-free for the first time in years. No orthotics, no cortisone shots, just minerals. 8. Your kitchen experiment. Try this. Mix a cup of Epsom salt, magnesium sulfate, with warm water and soak for 20 minutes. Notice how your muscles feel afterward? Now imagine that effect multiplied by 10 with real spring minerals. Here's why this works. Epsom salt, magnesium sulfate, pulls toxins from your muscles while delivering magnesium directly through your skin. But for even better results, add a tablespoon of bentonite clay. It's rich in trace minerals like calcium, potassium, and silica, mimicking the composition of natural springs. Want proof? Try this. Soak one sore foot in plain warm water and the other in a mineral bath. After 20 minutes, compare how they feel. The difference is undeniable. 9. The future of recovery is ancient. Big Pharma does not want you to know this. There's no patent on spring water. No billion-dollar industry. Just nature, doing what it's always done, healing. Drug companies cannot patent minerals, so they do not fund studies on them. That's why you will not see ads for spring water on TV. But look at the research that does exist. A 2018 meta-analysis found that balneotherapy, mineral spring bathing, was more effective than prescription NSAIDs for chronic pain, with zero side effects. And it's not just physical healing. These minerals regulate stress hormones like cortisol. That's why people report better sleep and less anxiety after regular soaks. Your body is not just repairing, it's resetting. 10. Where to find these minerals today. I've tested dozens of products, and only a few source their minerals directly from untouched springs. If you want the ones I personally use, check the link below. But do your research. Not all mineral products are created equal. Your body knows how to heal. It's been doing it for millions of years. You just need to give it the right tools. Ditch the synthetic supplements. Reconnect with earth-grown minerals. And let me know in the comments, have you ever tried spring mineral therapy? Your recovery might never be the same.